on this card. I want to know your picks on who do you have on the main card. I'm going to give you the fights, not the preliminaries. I could care
Yep.
less about the preliminaries. I know a couple of fighters on the preliminaries, by the
Yeah,
way.
it's a lot. It's a great
Yeah,
card.
yeah. So, Caitlin Chukugan and Manon Fiorot. Who do you have in that fight?
I got Caitlyn. I think Caitlyn wins. I think Caitlyn wins not easy, but I think she makes a statement. I think she wins within middle of the second round.
Benil Darush and Matash Gamrot. I like Gamrot. I've watched him fight a couple of times. People don't know who he is, but he has got a pretty good record. He's 21-1. He's
Yep.
fighting Darush, who is 21-4. Both fighters are great on the ground, and they can stand
Oh
up
yeah.
and fight you too. So, who do you got in that fight?
It's tough. For a long time, I was gonna say Dariush, and that is gonna be so neck and neck. It's gonna be a really good fight. But Dariush, the way he took care of Tony Ferguson, but
Mm-hmm.
as that's why I was gonna say Dariush, but we've seen what Tony has turned into. So
Yes.
who knows how much it was? Was it the old Tony? Is it the new? So I think Gamrot makes a statement as well. I don't want to keep saying that, but I do think that
I
that's what's
got
gonna. I think
Gamrot.
Gamrot
I got
winning.
Gamrot in that fight too. I do.
Yeah.
He's the better fighter. He's the up and coming fighter. I think he's going to be a champion one way or another.
I didn't mean to take it away. I just saw the Yankees walked it off against the Red Sox.
There
So
you go. It seems like it's an everyday thing for the Yankees. Now.
Aaron Judge didn't hit the walk-off homer.
no, he hit it 406 feet to center though. In the bottom
Oh,
of the ninth.
so
He just
close.
missed the home run.
Wow.
But yeah,
It seems like it's getting so close, but no cigar. Peter Yan, Sean O'Malley.
I think Peter Yan absolutely destroys him.
I think he
Because
punishes
I love
him.
Sean.
I think he's going to punish him.
Me too. And I love Sean. But Sean has had almost no real top 5 experience, really even ranked experience. He finally got his first ranked guy, and I of course I'm blanking on his name, but the whole eye poke thing and that whole, whatever that was. But no real experience, and to go from fighting unranked guys and calling himself the unranked champion. Let's not forget. So now you're fighting the number 1 contender in your division. I think Peter Yan has seen this plenty of times. I think he makes easy work of Sean O'Malley and makes a huge statement.
I got Peter Yan in this fight too, and I like Sean too. But
Yep.
I like his persona, everything who he is as a fighter. I just think he doesn't shut his mouth, and I think Peter Yan is going to teach him a lesson and shut it for him. So, Aljamain Sterling and T.J. Dillashaw. Who do you got?
Dillashaw. As much as I don't like Dillashaw, and Aljamain's, where I grew up, Aljamain only lived like 10 minutes from me, so I'm a huge Aljamain fan. But until he started talking smack and all that stuff about having the belt and beating Peter Yan that first time and doing all that social media stuff, that rubbed me the wrong way. But I still think, besides all that, I think Dillashaw is championship made. He's got that caliber in him, and they really want the Dillashaw Peter Yan fight, and I think Dillashaw wins.
The only way Dillashaw loses this fight if it goes to decision. If it goes to decision, there's no way the judges are going to give it to him because the judges already hate him, and everybody hates him. Even Dana White hates him. The only reason why Dana White brought him back is because he was still under contract, and with the situation for what it is, he's still a name, and that's why he brought him back. I think they want him to lose. I think Dana White wants them to lose. I just think, but why not? I got T.J. Dillashaw too. I think Dillashaw knocks him out. I do. I think he knocks him out. I think he makes a statement, and then we see Dillashaw, Peter Yan in December at the end of the year, where we expect a all-out brawl with these two guys that can't stand each other. And then the final. This is the big one: Charles Oliveira versus Islam Markov. Who do you got?
I do think, though, that Islam is ready for the moment, and I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. It's going to be not much striking, to be honest with you. I think if you're going to have to be patient with this one as a UFC fan. I know everyone loves to boo the second it gets to the ground, but I think it's going to be very interesting. I think Oliveira's gonna same thing, always get rattled and somehow pull some type of crazy upset. But I do think Islam is trained under Khabib, and Khabib is championship made. He knows how to win. He knows how to pull you to that extra step, that extra length, the place you don't want to be to become a champion. And I think Islam gets it done.
I think this is Charles Oliveira. I think who he is as a person and how he fights. He's a good wrestler. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He can stand up with you and fight with you. This man, he has been as good a fighter in the past year as anybody. He really has. He is the champion, and the odds of him losing this fight, I don't care what Vegas says, because I think Vegas has him losing on the odds. I think Charles is going to win this fight, and not only win this fight, I think Charles possibly taps him out in this fight. So I think he's going to put on, a fest of unbelievable, taking down, defense, everything. I like Islam. I think he's a good player, but I think he's been picking his fights, and this Charles is fought against really the best fighters in that division.
Oh yeah.
So and nobody's beaten him. Even
What
Poirier.
worries me with him is the weight cut.
Yeah.
That's what gets me, and not that he won't make weight, but it clearly has been an issue the last couple fights.
I didn't think he was going to beat Dustin Poirier. The way Dustin
mean,
Poirier
yeah.
was fighting, I
Yeah,
did
me
not
neither.
think he was going to beat Dustin Poirier. Not only did he beat Dustin Poirier, he embarrassed Dustin Poirier.
Yep.
Okay, so I thought Poirier was on his way to being champion, and he was going to be a guy that was going to be very hard to beat. He won 5 fights in a row, 6 fights, and then he fought Charles, and Charles just dominated that fight. He didn't even give Poirier an opportunity to win. And Poirier tried to kick him like he did against McGregor, and Charles just checked him and said, keep coming. And eventually he busted up Poirier's nose and made Poirier, obviously at the end pretty much give up. So I think Charles Oliveira is the best fighter in that division, and I think he will knock out not knock him out, but beat Islam in a very close fight. But I think he's the champion. I think the champion will win.
I think whoever wins that fight is going to be fighting Volkanovski next when Volkanovski comes up. He's going to come
Is
up.
Volkanovski coming up? That small
He
little
said it. He said in his interview
that little
he
pecker.
wants to be a double champ.
That little pecker is moving up.
And he could do it too, because being, a rugby player and all that, he knows how to move his weight quick.
He doesn't stand a chance against in the bigger division. He doesn't stand a chance against any of these guys. He doesn't
I
stand a
think
chance.
that's definitely going to be the fight after whoever wins this.
Yeah.
That's going to be the fight.
I
think that's what they're going to do with that. I think Conor's
Well,
going to fight Tony. There's going to be a whole bunch of lightweight crazy
listen,
things.
Nate will. I think one way or another he will fight Nate again. Conor.
Yeah,
I do believe it. He will fight
Yeah.
Nate.
definitely.
I think that's almost a definite. I think Nate is going into bare knuckles, and I think he wants to prove himself in bare knuckles because he knows he could fight as a boxer. But I think in the long run, I think Nate will come back maybe in a one-fight to fight Conor McGregor to show everybody that he beat him not once, not twice, but 3 times, and really end Conor McGregor's fighting career, because I think he's done anyways. But he would love to be the guy that pretty much ended his career. So
Yeah, I think that'll probably be both of their last fights. I think what they're going to try to do with Conor, because they like to, and I'm not trying to say I'm a Conor fan or not a Conor fan, but I think they're going to softball it for Conor. And I think what they saw at that performance with Tony Ferguson, 170 at welterweight, both of them come back and they'll fight each other probably within 3 to 4 months. I guarantee that'll be the announcement, because they want Conor to win. Conor wins, all of a sudden all those fair weather fans come right back. And then you can get Conor back into the title shot contention conversations because of the money he brings in.
He doesn't stand a chance against Charles. Not a chance.
I don't think so either.
Not
I don't think
a chance.
Islam, any of them, Oliveira, Islam, Dustin again, Gaethje, any of those guys. I don't think even Dariush. I think Dariush would mess him up.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got any shot.
Yeah.
But I think Tony, because of how much of that decline, it almost seems perfect for someone like Conor to put Tony away and then say he's the best again when he's clearly not.
Well, my friend, we kept you on a long time, but you gave
I
us some
appreciate
good
it. Thank you.
takes with the Yankees and some MMA. I know Speedy doesn't know anything about MMA, so he's probably like, "What the hell are you guys talking about?" It's like gibberish to me. But
Sorry about that.
All I know is Sean. It's an ongoing thing with the Conor McGregor thing. I joke around all the time that Errol has his 5 most hated athletes, and Conor McGregor is like a distant number 1 from everybody else.
Oh, really?
Spencer Rattler's probably number 2, and then Steph Curry probably top 3. But
Yeah.
McGregor's like a distant number 1.
yeah, well, I don't like Connor because Connor took shots at who I am mainly, and his agent called me, his management team called me, trying to not even apologize to me, but kind of tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about and who the hell do I think I am and all that other stuff. And I told him I might not be a professional fighter. I could have been. I might not be a professional fighter, but I know I could whip his ass. 155 pounds. I'm 230, man. I will take you down and beat the hell out of you. I don't know who you think you're talking to. So I don't care. Everybody says, oh, he's Conor McGregor. He walks at, what, 180 pounds? I walk at 230. I squat. I bench him. I bench 3 of him, okay? I don't know why he thinks that I can't take him. I boxed. I'm a black belt in judo. I'm a black belt in kempo. I'm a purple belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I wrestled, and I was an all-world boxer. I don't know where he thinks he's going to beat me. So he's an ass. And he's just a guy that I have a lot of respect how he made it in the business. He deserves it. He was on welfare. Now he's one of the richest fighters to ever, fight in the octagon. But he is a punk, and so is his team. And I heard he's a nice guy in person, but when you attacked me on social media the way you did, and I could send you the stuff that he sent me. He posted something on his Twitter taking shots at me, not using my name, but doing it in a way where he knew I knew what he was talking about. So he's an asshole. Excuse my language. That's what he is. That's what he is. And
Fortunately for me, I have not met him.
I was there in Brooklyn when he threw that whatever you want to call it, chair, or wasn't a chair, like
The dolly?
yeah, the dolly into the window.
That could be.
Well, it wasn't at Khabib. It was what's his
At
name?
the
again?
bus.
Yeah. He's a piece of garbage. He's a punk. So is his team. The little pets. They follow him like the little punk that he is. And they're not scary, dude. You flick them. They're like little skinny, scrawny little punks. They're even his management team. They don't scare the hell out of me, threatening me and telling me, we have good lawyers. Were you threatening me? You can have all the lawyers you want. I didn't say anything, and it's freedom of speech, bud. This isn't Ireland. And by the way, his management, they're from here. They're from the United States, and I'm talking about. And I doubt they're listening to me because they can't stand me. But F them too. So there you go, Sean. We really appreciate. We'll get you on soon, man. We're gonna keep your picks, and we're gonna see how we match. The only one that I disagree with you really is the main event. That's really it. I mean, everything.
I guess
else.
that's why the UFC is doing as well as it's doing, because you don't have heavy favorites and people automatically assuming.
I think
obviously there's the Usmans and the Adesanya's of the world, but that's the business that they're in.
You like the UFC where it's heading?
I think they're bigger and better than ever, obviously.
Really?
But I think the kids that are coming up in the UFC are going to be huge.
I like the kid Rosa. I think he's going to be the 17-year-old kid. I think he's going to be special.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, if you look at the division, if you look at what bantamweight has turned into, even the lightweights, the kids that are coming up in lightweights, they're gonna overpass all these kids, all these guys right now.
I hope so.
It's so quick.
I don't like the way it's going, honestly. I think boxing's moving in a better direction right now. I really do.
I would hope so. It could not have been much worse a long time ago.
There's a lot of good fighters, man. There are a lot of good fighters right now, but
it's good though. It's more entertainment for all of us.
Absolutely. Sean, you're awesome. Thank you, man.
Hey, thanks so much.